Oh,
We're
and we're
live. There's no
live.
way. I didn't make an intro video for this because this isn't like a regular show. Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Hey.
chat, what's up? How's everybody going? How's everybody doing? Wow, I didn't even know we had a chat right here already. What's up, everyone? What's up,
Love
Top
you in chat.
Gun? What's up, Fifth
We're
of Jack?
excited.
How's everybody doing? We have the Brave and the boys here. We have just the boy, not boys.
Just the boy. Yeah.
Just singular.
We have Chris. We
Mhm.
have
Yeah, we
Mitch
got
is
some
supposed to
big,
be joining us here in a little bit.
but you got some big news, right, JP? What's this big news?
Oh yeah, I do have some big news. I just want to see if the chat is actually alive because I haven't seen anything yet.
Chat, tell us if you're ready to hear this big new.
Oh, there we go. We have some people here. Very nice.
Huge news.
Yeah. So I've been MIA for a couple of I think years. When's the last time I've been on like YouTube?
I know. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I've been pretty MIA for the last couple of years. Definitely this year for sure, because I've been seeing somebody new. I got a new love in my life. Let me go introduce you there. Ta-da! I'm trying to follow into David's footsteps right now. He got 3, so I got to go for 5. So this is my baby, Estella Wynn. So she's been taking a lot of my time. Born in September, right before the holidays. So
perfect timing.
What can I say? Perfect timing, right?
Chat, let us know if JP should get the same hair that she has. Because I feel like JP could pull that hair off.
Bro, I had this hair. When I was a baby, so she's following in my footsteps. All right, baby. See you later. Just kidding. But yeah, she's cute. She's how old is she now? 19 weeks. Yeah, she's 19 weeks now. Gonna be 20 weeks on Friday. Friday. So time goes by fast, man. Time goes by real fast.
Soak it all up.
Yeah. So I got these Ray-Ban glasses, the Meta AI glasses that like you can record. So each time we hang out, I'm gonna start recording our interactions together. That way we just
record some interviews. Just interview her at that point, random time, put it all together, and then give it to her on her wedding day. It'll be fun.
I know, right? Like, hey, what do you think about boys? Record.
More important question: when are you gonna put a Marvel omnibus and a DC omnibus and see which one she crawls to?
Oh my god!
There you go.
I think she's gonna start crawling in like I think 1 more month. I mean, she already rolls over and stuff. So now we just like she tries to crawl, but then she just can't move, and then she gets frustrated.
She needs motivation. Put those omnis in front of her.
Hey, she could be into absolutes. Give her options.
Yeah, but she's pretty chill. Say hi. Say bye, baby.
Hey, bye-bye.
It's time to go eat. You want to feed her? That's my short little introduction. Bye, baby. Bye-bye. So, what's been going on with you guys? I haven't talked to you guys in I haven't talked to you in a while, Chris.
Yeah,
me and JP talk all the time.
Outside of the virtual chat, yeah, it's been a while since we've streamed together.
Yeah, I've been trying. I was thinking about starting doing this again, depending on how the chat feels about us today. We have a little guest star in the background too, little guy creeping around.
So people want to know her favorite Pokemon.
Her favorite Pokemon. I'm not sure about that yet. It better be like a Pikachu or something.
Comics Are Dope taking credit for Chris's outfit.
As he should.
Uh-huh.
And Alex saying maybe she's into absolute and gallery editions. So I feel like, chat, we're here to answer JP is here to answer any of your questions. But while we wait for the chat questions, I guess my first question would be, besides a new love of your life, what's been new in the past year in terms of your business? What has changed?
In the business side?
Or in your life? Anything you want to tell us about what's changed
I
in
feel
a
like
year?
Ever since 2024, it's been a blur, man. So I had one wedding in May, my wedding in June, baby in September. David's doing we started a maid service in our neighborhood, so that's doing well. We have clients from Monday all the way to Saturday every single week. David's starting his own venture now, his own business venture with his family. So they're gonna be like tax preparers. So they're filing people's taxes this year. But David did say he's gonna come start making like weekly videos and first looks and stuff like that again. So he's looking forward to that. So we're just seeing when he comes back and starts making videos. So there's a lot of stuff on their end. Other than that, it's just trying to get through the days now at this point. You know, I come home from work, working in 20-degree weather, and then having to take care of baby and then check on some more work. So it's just trying to survive.
And cooking a lot of steak. I feel like I get a steak photo every day from you.
Oh yeah. We got a sous vide. I got myself a sous vide. Jake got a sous vide. Now he's like, he can't talk about anything but chicken.
That's all he does.
Yeah, all he does is talk about chicken. I was like, bro, you gotta be a man, eat some steak.
Steak's expensive, man. I get like, me and my wife get steak like one meal a week, and it's like a nice meal. But like, you like ordered a whole cow. I don't even have. I can put like 2 waffles in my freezer. I can't put a whole cow in there.
Let's talk about one steak a week. I'm looking to get 1 steak a month. Come on,
man. We'll start off with a softball question from the chat before going on to some new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Why are y'all so awesome?
I try. I don't know. You know, we just try every day. We just.
I stay at a lot of Holiday Inn Expresses, so that's why.
So now to a real question: how do pre-orders work?
You just order on the site, and then whenever it's released, it'll get shipped to you, unless we get allocated. So pretty simple. Everything is charged as soon as you check out, though. So pre-orders are charged as soon as you check out.
We'll go back before you do that one, Jake. Like allocation, because a lot of people don't know that. What does that mean necessarily?
So let's say DC versus Marvel, for example. There are some, stuff happen. It was a limited edition run. I think it was like 5,000 units overall for every single retailer. So if too many sell, if too many retailers request those copies, and some retailers, they miss out on those copies. So for instance, we ordered like, I think 500 something copies before FOC, and they only sent us 200. So it's very rare that we don't get the full amount that we order, but it's only for like limited edition runs. Like usually other stuff that is not limited edition, we'll get the full amount and be able to send out. Now, if they come well, that's just a penguin thing. That's a whole other question.
That was something interesting to learn, where you were like, yeah, you have to order less than the carton size, otherwise.
It's been like that for 2 years already, man. It's crazy.
And then we got some people saying they miss David's content, not a fan of the new content. I think we all love David. David just had a special touch. How he could pump out 10 videos in 1 week and stay energized is
and not even know what the heck he's talking about too. And he's like, look at this Red Dog Clifford on the New Mutants. Let's just make up new names for them. It's funny.
So is David coming back, or what's the plans for that?
So since he started his new tax filing stuff, he should have more time to actually come back. I think he's going to come back we're just waiting for Mr. Miracle to come in. I think either Thursday or Friday. Then he's going to start posting videos again. So he's going to be coming in at least once or twice a week just to film everything all in one go and just release it again. We're just waiting for the absolute Mr. Miracle, which should be coming in, I think, Thursday or Friday this week. Then we'll just have a bunch of stuff for him to talk about and review.
Most anticipated book of the year for me right there.
Yeah, it's because now the warehouse is about 45, 50 minutes away from him now. So we got to make sure just everything's ready to film before he comes in, because the old warehouse was like 10 minutes away from his house. Now the new warehouse is about 50 minutes. So we got to make sure everything's ready. That way it's worth his time to come by and just film everything instead of doing one book at a time, which we did last time.
So stay tuned, Bite Size. They're coming back.
And then we got a question that I'm sure a lot of people are wondering: why the change in packaging quality? Packaging peanuts are leaving way too much space in the box, and books are coming damaged.
Yeah, so we did have a big influx of sales during Black Friday, the Christmas sales, and everybody thinks we're a big mega conglomerate or whatever. Honestly, it's just me and 2 other people most of the time. So it's just me and 2 packers. I pull the books and 2 people pack. So we did use inserts and bubbles and all that stuff as well before. Bubbles and paper is fine. The thing is, the people that were coming in they didn't know how to pack books well. And so I was like, all right, we got to just do peanuts. That way they could just drop the peanuts in there. and just that way it's just the void fill. But I feel like Peanuts did a fine job if it was utilized correctly. So there were times where people came in and they didn't know how to pack well. I guess there was no oversight, and then they just threw the book in there with just a little peanuts, and it wasn't ready. So now we're just doing peanuts for back orders and restocks until we get rid of the peanuts. But we're going back to inserts again in bubbles and paper. The inserts at that time back in December, the people weren't trained well to make them, so it would take about 1 to 3 minutes for one insert. You think about that, that's not a lot of time we get, because we're getting about 300 to 500 orders a day to send out, and just spending the entire day making inserts to put inside the box was not efficient, especially when we only had 2 packers and me just pulling books. So we could have done better at that time, but I just didn't have enough people. And then my original crew, they went on vacation, so that kind of left me in a tough spot of just trying to find people, whoever I can, to just send out orders. But now we're back on normal packing terms. We're sending out like new releases and stuff like that with inserts or bubbles in paper, and then we're just doing packing peanuts to just get rid of it for like older books, like back orders and restocks. But everything should be back to normal by now. And then we also have our original books, boxes and stuff like that as well.
And then someone wondering, how did you decide you wanted to sell collected editions?
It's funny because I didn't even want to sell collected editions, honestly. I tell you, this was an accidental business. I don't know, you guys saw my old interviews back in the day, but the idea was just to buy a case of books, because omnibus was expensive, especially like 4 years ago when COVID happened and everything was like, I didn't know about cheap books back then. I just bought it on Amazon. So I was like, I bought it for full price, So I was like, I got to open a wholesale account and just keep one for myself and sell the rest. So the plan was just to break even, fund the hobby, and just, get these books and just let the books pay for itself. I didn't expect to make a full blown business out of it and get to the point we're at now. So that was fun.
How about Alexander Miller's question about pre-orders?
This one.
Yep.
So will pre-orders be shipped to arrive on release day, or shipped? I just pre-ordered The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 6.
So pre-orders are shipped as soon as we get them. Sometimes we get them 1 week before release date, and sometimes we get them on their release date. So it just depends on when we get them. So I can't give you a clear answer on that one, but as soon as the release date happens, we will ship them.
And then how is the Diamond situation? Does it affect you?
Honestly, we don't really order too much stuff from Diamond. So I think it's Dynamite, Boom. Who else is left? Dynamite, Boom, Viz.
Marvel if it's out of stock on.
Marvel. Yeah, Marvel if it's out of stock. But usually it's just whatever overstock the Diamond has, I order it. But like my last batch of stuff I ordered, I think it was like maybe like 5, 6, 7 cases. I was wondering why it hasn't came, because I ordered it since December, the last week of December. And I finally reached out to them. I was like, hey, where's my stuff? I got an invoice for it. And they were like, oh, it got damaged through UPS. We're going to just give you a refund for everything. I was like, well, you could have told me that.
They waited until you reached out to them? That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, you could have let me know. It was the X-Force DM. So now we have to figure out how to get some more X-Force, and we'll have to send refunds. So I have to look on that later today.
Well, speaking on the idea of like when you get this stuff from, like, talk to the chat about the damages and kind of how that's been working out, because I think some people are confused sometimes when they order it and then they say, hey, it's going to be a little bit late because we got a lot of damage in. Like, I don't think they understand what's kind of going on with that, because again, like you said earlier, you're not the big player that people like kind of think you really are, in that sense of like a IST or even others that are out there at that point.
Yeah, so usually, let's say for instance, like smaller, not as popular books like what's it called, Power Pack, or Micronauts.
What? I love Power Pack.
Micronauts or ROM or other things. So those titles we won't get like 20, I would say 20, 25, 30 cases. So with a Penguin Random House, how it works is you have to order at least 30 to 35 cases of books for them to ship it via freight. And so that basically means 30 times 4, 120 books. So I need to order at least 120, 100, 160 books of the same title so I could get it shipped via freight so it won't come damaged. If I order less than 120 books, they'll ship it through UPS, and sometimes they'll ship it in the flimsy cartons, or they'll just ship it ship it how it was packed, so no extra protection or anything. And sometimes they come damaged, and then we'll have to make claims and just keep on repeating that process over until they send us some good ones. And the bad thing is, like, I just can't order the exact amount I want when I do restock. So let's say a Spider-Man book, it's 4 per case, right? So I have to order 3 books at a time, so they'll actually pack it in their own packaging and not send me just the carton. So like I have to, like, every single day I have to make sure I order this like less than a carton amount, so it comes in the Penguin Random House packaging and it comes fine, instead of ordering a carton and they all come damaged through UPS or something because there's no extra packaging in it. So it's just a little bit of like headache trying to figure out how to get stuff not damaged if it's for like non big titles like Spider-Man and stuff like that, and X-Men is fine because people order like 200-300 copies of those. But like smaller titles like ROM and Micronauts and stuff like that, it's a little bit harder to get stuff undamaged.
And it's another probably reason why, especially when Jake and I and Jordan do our weekly stream, there are a lot more books that do come out that we don't cover just because you all aren't stocking them, because of the idea of what's going to get necessarily, it's supply and demand. If there's not enough demand for it, it's not worth it, unfortunately, for you all to even stock it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll add it for the back order and stuff like that, but yeah, sometimes like Jake said, he wants to add every single book that he can think of. So we'll see how that goes. And now that he's
Are you sure that's Jake? I think it's
I
more
thought
Mitch
that
at that
until-
point.
I thought I wanted to do that until he goes, yeah, sure, add them. And I was like, wait, I have to do it? But sometimes Mitch will send me a book, like a list of books that he's interested in. And I'm like, dude, we don't even sell these. They're so niche. But we got some good questions in the chat. So Comics Are Dope, our friend, wants to know, is it easier to work with a newborn or in the last trimester of pregnancy? Because I feel crazy swamped right now.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't have to hold a baby, you're good, bro. I always say last trimester all day, because newborn, well, mine, man, she's clingy, and if you don't hold her and stuff, she will scream. My baby is like the loudest baby I ever heard. I got a tough baby. But my friends that I have, their baby are so quiet. Like, we went to a restaurant yesterday to go out to eat, and they have a newborn. I think they're like she was born the day before Thanksgiving, so I don't know how many weeks that is already. But she has the quietest cry I ever heard. Like, you don't even know that she's crying. I'm like, man, when you hear my baby cry, you can hear from 1 street away. It's light night and day difference.
So now people want to know what your goals are for business or for personal in 2025.
Bro, my goals for personal is to get rid. For business, just maintain the quality that we had when we first launched. I know the quality went down a little bit because of just being just too many tasks in one day. So, just having me and 2 other packers, and then I needed help with customer service. We didn't train you too much on every single thing. I literally brought you on as soon as Black Friday, Christmas, and all that hit. So that was like a very big task to come on.
It's kind of baptism through fire. I was like, wait, do we normally get 60 emails a day?
Yeah,
we're getting like 4 emails a day.
Yeah, we were getting 60 to 100 to 120 emails per day, just asking the same repetitive questions. I mean, it's fine. The questions are fine, but it's like, it was a distribution sale, not us, but the distribution that was having a sale. So all the stuff that was on back order and stuff like that. So it'll take maybe 2 to 3 weeks for stuff to come in. So it's just a lot of like like emails on top of everything that's coming in, on top of taking care of a baby, on top of, you know, not a lot of workers. So it was just a lot of snowball effects that that brought the quality down. But this year, you know, just bringing it back up to the quality that the quality that you guys seem to expect from us, and that's what we want to put out, and also put out more content on social media and YouTube and stuff like that as well.
And then Daryl saying, I just want to say I appreciate you guys keeping good communication going. I had a couple questions this past year, and you guys were super helpful.
Well,
So
thanks for the comment. I'm glad we were able to answer your questions.
And then Richard is saying, it's been a while since you and David have done a first look video. Enjoyed those videos, but I'm sure it's because you're all so busy. Hoping that 2025 is amazing.
Don't worry, the videos are coming back very soon. You're gonna be happy.
I'm just bummed I never got to see David in a maid outfit, you know.
It's funny because like he bought a bowling outfit, like one of those bowling shirts as his maid outfit, and he just put a smock over it that says our company logo. So it was neat.
So now people are wondering, what separates OPB from other sites that sell collected editions?
Honestly, I feel like the reason why we did so well is because we just had a really good customer service. You know, when you reach out to us, you got a response within a day or less. Honestly, sometimes within a few minutes. So that was always nice too. And just getting clarity of when you're going to get your stuff, what's going on, and just how we packed our books and stuff like that. So we are still working on packing quality, packaging and stuff like that. It's just honestly the pricing for a lot of stuff went up, so it's kind of hard to maintain quality without compromising margins and stuff like that. Because yet for us in a discounted comic book industry, you have to spend $63 to make 10. That's kind of like horrible margins on top of returns and stuff like that. Returns for like small little corner damages in the book and pages, everything's fine, but one little centimeter and then people want to return, so that eats margin as well. So it's just, there's a lot of like costs involved in just trying to stay competitive on top of trying to be the best at what we do. So
and I say one of the reasons I went with you all and continue to stay with you all is the idea that you were right now at the time you were the only ones doing pre-orders the way you were.
Yeah.
You know, and at that point, and it still is, I think I've never not gotten a pre-order from you all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, if I have to wait an extra week, but I'm not necessarily, I'm a different type of YouTuber than Jake and some of the others of the affiliates at that point. But that means more to me than anything, in the sense of if I pre-order a book, 99%, 99.9%, I'm not worrying about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And now we have a few people asking, which I know everyone wants back. When are the Whatnot streams coming back someday?
Well, that's a David question, so we'll have to see what David says about that, because he runs the Whatnot, not me. But we do have quite a bit of damaged items. Maybe we'll do it once per quarter, but right now we don't even have like internet installed in our office. It's just we're running a hotspot, so doing a Whatnot will be very choppy. Just running off a hotspot. So, I mean, it could come back. There's not a chance that it won't. It's just going to be a little bit from now, depending on how David wants to plan out this year, because he has things that he would like to do for himself as well.
And let me see. So next up, we have Bite Size Comics saying, it seems like hiring a YouTuber to manage customer service was a swing and a miss. Don't think the community likes Jake. How would you respond to that question?
I feel like, honestly, with all hires and all like new people on any company, there is going to be an onboarding and new hire process. There's going to be, like, just with David, like, people didn't like him at first because he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. You know, he didn't know, he still doesn't know what the hell he's talking about on books, but then the people grow to like his personality and stuff like that. And that's just how it was with, I think that's how it's going on with Jake as well. He's a new face. People are, you know, not used to new faces, and they like just to see me and David. That's fine. But, you know, you can hate him, that's fine, but at least he's trying to become better each time. He's, you know, doing the support well. He's trying his best. And then, you know, all the people bashing on him, if you bash on him and he doesn't correct himself, then I would understand. You know, I would understand your point. But like, if you bash on him and then he's actually going out of his way to, you know, figure out what's going on, trying to be helpful, then You know, I'm just gonna keep on letting him grow as a person and let him, you know, get thick skin. Just like all in football and stuff like that. People hated Tom Brady, and as soon as he retired, like, oh yeah, this guy's the greatest of all time. You know? So it's just how it goes.
So people are saying that the narrative change for OPB has been nuts.
Yeah.
He followed up a little bit later because I asked him to clarify.
To be fair, it's mainly on Reddit, but I've seen so much negativity on there, and even some on Facebook. I'm not saying that I agree.
Yeah, there has been a lot of times where we in December and stuff like that we dropped the ball. It's kind of a shame. It's a shame that, you know, we dropped the ball, and as soon as we did, people started going crazy about it. And then we, you know, it's not like I don't read it, I do, but we don't dwell on just, you know, going over comments and stuff like that. That I see it and we correct it. We see it, we correct it. It's not like we see it, we let it sit and nothing happens. As soon as we see it, we try to make fixes. That's what we've been doing, getting our packaging back and stuff like that. I knew if I did peanuts and stuff like that, we were going to get a lot of backlash, but I was like, I'd rather have people give us backlash and hate than your orders not even going out, because we had to spend 5 days just making inserts so we could send out 300 books, and then we have another 300 books every single day. So that's not helpful at all. So I just made the best decision I could think of at that time.
So I guess my question would be, what would you do different this upcoming holiday season next year? Like, is there anything that you learned this time that you're going to take into the next holiday season and be more ready for?
Oh yeah, definitely. So now that we have everything established, I have people making inserts after hours. So like from 5 to 5 p.m. to sometimes 9, 10, making inserts. So we have the inserts ready to go. We have the boxes ready to go. We have the package ready to go. We have customer service ready to go. So now we just have everybody trained on those aspects. So we won't have just too much overwhelming things. And me already having a 1-year-old at that time. So I don't have to worry about being a new father and like, how do I take care of my baby on top of running a business, on top of doing customer service, on top of packing orders, on top of, you know, all these other things I had to do. So it was a rough road, but now we're much prepared for the following year.
This is a good question that I get emails about often. What's the deal with Fantastic Four Full Circle Expanded Edition? I pre-ordered, but it keeps pushing back. But I see Amazon is selling the book already.
So it's so strange, because each time I reach out to Diamond about it, they tell me 2 more weeks, a few more weeks. Ever since December, they're like, "Oh, we've been working with Abram. I think is Abram the publisher, right? Something like Abrams.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they keep on telling me, like, I have one right now. Let me read it. What it says. It says, "Hello, we're still waiting for an update on the situation with Abrams Press. We've been advised we should have an update hopefully after this week." They told me that last week, and I'll follow up as soon as I hear back. And then, you know, I've just been getting the same answer each time. Hey, we're waiting for an update. And like the previous answer I got, they're like, "Oh, it's supposed to be in our doc in a few weeks," and now it's not even in their doc. So I don't even know what's going on that end.
And there's a difference between two. That you got the book market versus what OPB is at the direct market. Yes, Amazon is selling it. They're not breaking anything. They've been selling it for about at least a month or so. But that's a different market that they get different allocations. They do different things versus you all at the direct market with OPB. It's frustrating. Trust me. It's
but I feel like if we just said, you know what, it's not coming, let's cancel all the orders, then the next day is when the book's like on its way. I feel like that's just the way the universe works. But now a fun one. JP, what were some of your top reads in 2024? Anything you're excited about in 2025?
My top reads, honestly, I don't even remember what I read. I tried to read Birthright. I just couldn't like open a comic book this year because we had so much stuff going on. But I do want to read Birthright and Radiant Black this year, so I'm looking forward to that.
So let me see what else we got. Let's see. Why has every pre-order of me shipped well after release? All orders say 1 in FOC and bam, weeks after release it ships.
Honestly, for November and December, we've been getting a lot of stuff delayed, either delayed or we've been getting it damaged. So we just been having to get it replaced, or we just been having to wait for the delays. There was a lot of delays back in December because of I forgot what it was, but there was just a lot of delays. I think it's because warehousing were just over like on holidays and stuff like that. But we did already get Daredevils. Like the last 2 or 3 weeks of releases, we've been getting really early, and we're already been sending them out. Like all our Daredevil Bendis's have mostly been shipped out already. So it's just that, or we're just waiting for restocks, because sometimes we order some through FOC, and then sometimes we order some after FOC, and the orders that we place after the cutoff comes a little bit later, like a few days later.
So JP, if you want to address this one, this was a customer that said, it's not a lie. They canceled over $1,000 worth of my orders. Let's see if Jake has the spine to address it. I feel like you should take this one. I don't have the authority to cancel $1,000 worth of orders. So if you want to speak to that and say your side of the story.
Yeah, so we did have a lot of well, yeah, I saw your stuff, but it's fine if something comes damaged, or if you have a problem with our stuff, but to belittle the staff and berate people on just because you had a bad experience, it's just not somebody that we want to be part of our customer base. So like, didn't you say he told you to worship his feet or something because he spent $1,000?
I don't know what the exact context was. Because I know we switched our email providers, but it was I think it was the amount of times. It was like over the course of 15 orders, almost every book was damage claimed for like 10 to 15 orders, which is when we're doing a 50% off sale, there's so little margin on those books that constantly giving even more off, just not profitable.
Yeah, I just remember there was one person that was just going off on the book cafe, Reddit, and everything else, and just making a big scene of everything. It's like, that's fine. Just keep you had a problem with your book. That's, we'll try to replace it and stuff like that. That's what we do. But if you keep on going on and just making a big scene of it when we're trying to address it, that's something else. And we just didn't want to continue to deal with that in the future as well. So that's a decision that we made.
And then let us know who has the crooked book on our shelf. We will fix it. We don't want it bothering you. So Chad, whose book is crooked?
JSA1 and Conan. Okay. Weren't you the same person that said your DC book never came in as well? And then you're like, and then I told you we shipped you the DC book in a different package. And you're like, oh yeah. And then I don't remember. But there was a lot of stuff that happened back in December and November. My bad. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
So JP owns a vast comic inventory and even custom binds certain runs. Which story is the one that you're missing?
Honestly, I don't even collect anymore.
You sold out a lot.
Yeah, I still have a lot. I'm still trying to get rid of a lot of the stuff behind me.
Still got those Usagi's? I'll take them. Just kidding.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't even collect. Like my priorities have changed a little bit. Just trying to take care of a little one.
So will we see more consistent uploads on OPB's actual channel?
We will. Yeah, we should. Let's just see what David says. I will be speaking with David later on this week, and we'll see a game plan from that. But we should start seeing weekly releases again, weekly release videos on top of first looks.
And I feel like we definitely stepped up the amount of content on Instagram and Facebook. So, JP, right behind his head. Oh, there is a crooked book. But
which one?
No. The one that's crooked, right? It doesn't matter. We'll leave it just to bug them.
There's a lot of right behind me before I had this was just a bassinet. So I haven't even looked at my shelf. It was a bassinet, but I was like, I gotta move this bassinet out of the picture so you can see a bookshelf.
So are there still Bendis Daredevil pre-orders that have yet to be shipped?
I think so. I know we are getting our second batch tomorrow, which is the release date, right? So we are getting our second batch tomorrow, so we should be shipping the rest. I'll check on that as well after today or
And
after
then,
this call.
has a book ever sold out solely based on the pre-orders for it?
I would say like the DC versus Marvel one and the DC versus Marvel Amalgam sold out based on pre-orders. Um, we did have a lot of allocations, and then as soon as I processed some, I found out that we were short 8 more copies, even though I already did all my refunds. So I was like, screw it, I'll just go buy it from another retailer. What the hell? So I bought 8 more copies from my competition just so I could fulfill everybody's orders and make them happy. So.
Oh, we got someone joining.
Oh, what took you so long, man?
My parents randomly showed up.
Oh. Welcome to the call, Mitch. We had a lot of questions so far.
Oh, nice. All right.
We were talking about books that were so niche it's not profitable for us to order them, and I was like, "That's when we need Mitch." That's
Well, you know.
And then we got friend Bunkmaster asking, "What's been the biggest dad brain moment since having the little one?"
Bro, there's a lot of dad brain moments. Sometimes I forgot it was my birthday. So there was one like in December. It was like I had my baby and I had all the orders had to get shipped out, and then it was my birthday and I forgot, and people came over for dinner. And then I was like, "Can you guys just please go home? I'm ready to go sleep." It was 9 o'clock, and I was like, on my birthday, I went to bed at 9 o'clock, and then woke up at 4 a.m. I was like, "Man, 30 hit different."
Oh, you're still a baby though at 30, so
Yeah.
There's this question, which is, will the website ever be redesigned? It's cancer on mobile. So many page resets. I will say that the first thing I asked if we could change was the thing that bothered me as a customer was like the aggressive pop-ups when you first go to. So the second I got access to do it, I was like, if I quit now, I could be happy because it fixed my gripe.
Send us an email and make sure you specifically say, "Jake, fix my problems," and I'll make sure that he revamps our website for you. Just tell us every single detail that you want fixed, and he'll do it for you. There you go.
And then those OPB Instagram photos have been fire lately.
they have been. I like them.
Yeah, you don't have your own birthday once the kids come.
That's my thing is like after one of my kids have their birthdays, I'm like, or it's my birthday, I'm like, can we just not do anything for a birthday? That would be wonderful. That would be a great birthday present.
I just want to celebrate my birthday on their birthdays, and we're good. All right, we're good. And let me go circle back to Great Company. Just send me an email. Let me know what we need to do to get back on the same page and get on your good graces. If we need to do whatever we need to do, and we'll get it sorted out. Direct in my emails, but I never. Okay.
Sorry, I'll go back to it.
Just send me an email. I'll look at it and then make sure that you're all taken care of. I know we sent you that book. I don't know what happened to that book because I know I put in that box myself and it wasn't how that picture was. So I don't know what the hell happened there. Because I knew that you were like what happened with JSA 1. I was like, I put that book in there myself, and I was like, this this better not be a bad thing. I did it myself. He can't complain because I made sure everything was all good. But I guess something happened. But yeah, let me know what we need to do to get on your good graces. Make sure everything's all good and taken care of, and I'll make sure you're taken care of.
Cool. And do you have direct contact with publishers like Marvel, DC, or Image, or is it just the distributors?
I had direct contact with Omar. And then Omar is the direct contact with those guys. So yeah, I would say a friend of a friend. Yeah, but no, I don't have any direct contact with any of them. It's just the distributors, which is Penguin Random House, Lunar, and oh yeah, I forgot Diamond was dying, so I forgot about them already.
They're not technically dying. Well, they're not dead.
And even with that, always be careful with people celebrating the end of Diamond at that point. That's going to have ramifications that we can't even foresee right now, and it's not going to necessarily be good ramifications. So just be careful about celebrating dancing on someone's grave.
Yeah.
I feel like competition in any marketplace, especially a niche as small as us, is a positive thing.
Yeah.
Because look, when people got really excited about, DC's bailing on Diamond, Marvel's bailing on Diamond at that point, that didn't necessarily result in the best things. Because the biggest thing I think we all saw, including what you were forced to do, JP, was discounts started changing.
Yeah, discount this. Yeah. Because Diamond, I think Diamond, we had 58% discounts as retailers if you had Marvel and DC, but now you only get 50% for those publishers because they're with Penguin stuff like that now.
Yeah,
I will say that since I've been ordering books or adding things to the cart, whenever I have to go to Diamond's website, I sigh because it is the worst out of all the websites.
I was talking with one of my couple of the guys that in the publishing through, not with Magnetic, but some of the guys I've met through Magnetic, and they're like, this is not going to be good for anyone. Like, you might, like you're saying, Chris, like, don't be dancing on the grave, because I would not be surprised to see a lot of smaller publishers like shut down this year. So a lot of those
it's going to be very bad for the smaller publisher, because Diamond was the only way those smaller publishers were able to go into the comic book industry.
Yep. So you're gonna like my prediction is you're gonna see a lot of them make a last ditch effort on Kickstarter. So this year is going to be crazy for Kickstarter or Zoop or BackerKit, whatever they choose to use. It's going to be insane amounts of campaigns. And then there's no way that everyone's going to be able to support them all. And then there's going to be a huge wave of shutdowns from all these smaller publishers. That's my prediction.
Yeah, that's a good prediction, because there's no other way for them to fund their stuff besides Diamond. So
I mean, you look at people like Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor. Some people that have like huge names in the business, and they've just gone exclusively with Kickstarter and other ways because that's where they feel they can directly get more money and do their own distribution and just do a limited print run that just goes through them, and that's it. Like, they may have some extra overstock that they put through their own website, but they've been doing that for years, and that's what it's going to unfortunately force people to do. And either you have the capacity to do it, or, to what we're saying, they'll just go away and they'll never come back because they just don't. And it's bad. And that's what I'm saying. Like, just be careful what you wish for. It's not always going to work out the way you think sometimes.
That's positive, but let's hope for the best, right? So next question is, I want to ask about Savage Sword Conan Volume 9. I know a lot of the Conan covers were problematic for us this holiday season.
Oh yeah, it was horrible.
Has it sold out? Any chance for a restock?
I know Volume 9 sold out. The DM cover, the standard cover is still available. I talked to my representative at Penguin and at Diamond, and they said that the Titan Comics, that's the publisher, right? Titan Comics.
Yep, Titans.
They likely will reprint their volumes, especially Volume 9. I just don't know when, but Diamond and Penguin did tell me that they are going to do reprints and restocks of their copies. I don't know how long their license is for Conan as well. I'm not sure, because it seems like they're not like Marvel. They don't do like extra quantities. They just make enough for what the retailers order, and that's basically it. So all those releases that came out, we just got enough, and that was it. And we had to order extras from like Diamond or Penguin and see if we were able to get it at all.
Yeah, it's been weird. Shorted on one of the covers, right? Or one of them came really damaged.
Oh yeah, so when we first got, I think it was Savage Sword Conan Volume 2 with the spider, a lot of them, they shipped us through UPS, and a lot of them came like ripped open. So I'm just like, what the hell happened here? You know, so I just had to send all of them back. But then as soon as I sent them back for replacement, they're like, oh, we don't have any more to replace. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Twisted Kister is saying, you don't have any old Buffy library editions hanging around the warehouse. But serious question, what is the oddest late arriving unexpected shipment you've received?
Honestly, the latest unarriving the shipment I have received is anything I ordered from Diamond at this point.
If you get it, you know.
Yeah.
There was that massive one during the holiday season though, where it kept pushing it back a week, you know. I know that one took a while.
Yeah, I don't remember. There's too many stuff on a holiday. I was just trying to survive.
So this is a fun one. How do y'all's YouTube sponsor codes work? What does the YouTuber get? I always go down the list and try to decide who I'm using when I make an order. Give me a pitch on using your guys. Like they want us three right now to do an elevator pitch.
Well, I'll say this. So, okay, I said it in the comment already, but like we get like 2%, which gets basically turned into gift cards to use at OPB. So we order more books. So basically what it does is it lets us get more books for more YouTube content and kind of help supplement the hobby, I guess is what I'd say. My pitch for using my code is like, use whatever code you want. Like if you're going to order from OPB, use one of the creator codes and just like support whoever got you interested in that book or whoever's tickling your fancy that week, you know? So, which should be friends. Me every single time. So,
okay. Well, I take back what I just said. No, the thing is, I believe, and I feel like a lot of us believe, because we're all in a group message, we all support each other because it's hard to be a content creator. So we support each other. The rising tide raises all ships. So I'm stoked when I see an order come through and it's a Mitch code or someone else's, like an Illuminati code, because like those are my friends and that's awesome. Yeah. So literally, like you can mix and match, you can do it. It's not just free for you, it saves you money. And it's a way to support us having more books to make more content. So,
bro, he's lying, bro. He got so mad when people were using other people's codes and not his. Bro.
I was changing them.
He was messaging me before he worked for me. He was like, "Bro, why are they getting more affiliates than me? What am I doing wrong?"
and I'm the oddest one out of this group at that point. I'm the one who doesn't do the typical overviews and things like that. My show, Marvel Alliance, we cover just everything going on in Marvel, and we do comic book clubs and things like that. So, I mean, we promote and go over the comic book news, but I don't do overviews. One, I think everyone that I know in this group, in our group chat, and everyone else that is affiliated with OPB, even not affiliated with OPB, they have done some amazing work, and I'm not necessarily wanting to get in on that. I have my little niche, and I'm always honored when anyone does use my code. And it's not like we said, it's not necessarily a competition with us because no one's, unfortunately, right now retiring off of what we're doing. That's the dream. But right now, you know, it's a fun hobby. If we get a little bit of, you know, things that we could use to fund the hobby, we're honored that you use it. And so, you know, again, it's just something extra to, again, fund the hobby and continue what we like doing for our hobby.
Yeah, but you got to say something like Jake doesn't actually read or something as your pitch. I mean, unlike Mitch, I cover books people actually care about.
That's true. I cover the books people should care about, but don't.
You know, well written, like you know, high class there. You know,
high class, award winning.
Very true.
Like pertinent, like make you actually feel something inside.
I think the only book I read that Mitch recommended me was the Usagi box set. He recommended me stuff like Unnatural and Karma and some other
and things. Sunstone and Swing.
Yeah, Sunstone.
No. Somehow a Sunstone book ended up in one of my orders.
Oh, was that, dude?
I was like, nope.
Yeah. After I got married, David sent me a nice little package as a wedding gift, but he snuck in some. I don't know if it was you or David, but it was like it was the most erotic books I'd ever seen, and that was back when I was doing unboxings with my wife, and she got a little mad.
That funny, man. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna send this to Jake." I was like, "Do it, bro. Do it."
Good times. Do you feel this hobby and your own company's over-reliance on YouTubers and influencers will be finally what gets the bubble to burst? Or on a more positive note, how did you start using YouTubers? Like, how did that partnership originally start?
I feel like I started with Jim Mint because he was the only person I could reach out to because he was the person I was comfortable reaching out to because I did buy from him. I bought his Spawn set and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I bought from him before. I'm gonna reach out to him, and he was the very first person that actually gave me a shout out, and that's what boosted my my presence. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be where we are today because Omar, he has a contract with Marvel, and Marvel won't let him be with anybody else besides cheap graphic novels, only because he had his contract with cheap graphic novels before Marvel, so they had to honor that. So Omar, he can't be affiliated with anybody else besides Marvel and CGN. And everybody else, I just reached out to people. I mean, that's what you have to do in business. It's all about networking. So I feel like YouTubers and influencers and affiliates and stuff like that, it's not something I would say would burst a bubble. It's just to get the word out there. Just like when you have friends that would recommend you a movie, they're not like trying to sell you on the movie. They're just telling you about their experience, and that's just how it is with the people in the hobby and talking about us. They're just telling you about their experience. It's not like we're trying to sell you anything. Honestly, we're just trying to provide you a good experience.
So to answer this question, I did Google it. I did go to Shopify. Do you have a rough unique customer count? With thousands of YouTubers now, it does feel like that. It's hard to tell if everyone's in the game or Omni's collector just more widely popular now. According to Shopify, are we allowed to share the number, what it says, or is that secret?
Go ahead, I guess.
26,606 customers.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to guess like 20,000 of those are people ordering Invincible every time a new season drops.
Actually, the funny thing is actually not. Only because
really?
Invincible, we sold 28,000 copies of Invincible on Amazon. So that customer base is not on my website customer base because Amazon keeps all their customers and information priority to them. So I get no access. The only time I get to even advertise is I put a little sticky note, or not a sticky note, like a shipping label inside the book saying, hey, thanks for checking us out, check out our website and stuff like that. But you can't message them anything like about your website. You can't do any of that. So you can only send it with the package.
Interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, we did have a lot. We do. I feel like every single time a season of Invincible comes out, we sell way more Invincible than we do with the entire year of comics. It's crazy.
And there is, I'm just going to say there is currently up to 50% off Invincible comics for season 3 and OPB. Figured that was a good time to throw that out there.
Very apropos.
Yeah.
To this next one, when is Absolute Mr. Miracle coming out? It is next week on the 17th. And oh my gosh, that is so that's not 17th. Sorry. The 28th. That is my most requested book or anticipated book of the year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We should be getting it either Thursday or Friday, depending on how the weather is up and everywhere. So we'll see. Mm-hmm. They already prepped it to ship. We're just waiting for it to receive it now.
And then shouts out to our friend Day Day.
Hey, Day Day.
I asked him to be in the live stream with us, and he said, "Nah, y'all lame now. Y'all washed up." And I was like, "Dang, bro." Just
Day Day, tell it how it is.
Well, Day Day just really hates packing peanuts, so you can't blame him,
Yeah. Bro, he said he loved the peanuts. He actually eats them.
I'll say my kids went. So I was packing up books because I did a bunch of sales the other day, and I was packing up books, and I had a bunch of the packing peanuts because I reuse it all. Oh my gosh, my kids were just going nuts with those things, just like all over the place. They're having fun. So pain to clean up, but kids had a lot of fun with them.
Yeah. And they're biodegradable, according to what we know.
Dude,
these particular ones.
They were like a couple of them got stepped on, and they were like wafer thin flat after my kids stepped on them. It was weird. I don't know if it puffed up later or not, but I don't know.
Hit Daryl's question because he's talking about some pre-orders.
Yeah, is that for what time is that at?
Sorry, I was ahead highlighting 10:21.
Which would be 7:21 for me.
7:21, yeah.
Here we go. I never know whether to pre-order or just wait until a book is released to order. Is there any universal rhyme or reason to that, or does it really just depend on the book?
I would say if you want your book as soon as possible, pre-order, because we ship out depending on like the time you place the order. So if you're towards the end, then we will ship your orders last. So let's say, for example, we get 500 orders of Spider-Man. We're not going to process all 500 in one day. So, so yours might ship the second or third day after the release, only because there's so much. So it just depends on how soon you want it. If it's not limited edition, so or like a certain quantity, like I would say just whatever fits your budget. If you want to wait until it releases, that's fine too. Just how soon do you want the book?
And then I guess they want my code to only work on absolutes, which I think is fair.
That does make sense. I do feel
Yes,
like that's a fair.
Yeah, that'd be a fair compromise.
And then Taylor's would only work on artist editions.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's true.
Or Fantagraphics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, guys, I'm an older comics cat from the 70s, 80s, but brand new to collected editions world since December, thanks to YouTube hosts like Jake and Omni Guy. Can you reintroduce Chris? And I don't even know how to pronounce JP.
It's just Master Sifu, bro.
Master C. What's that? I don't know what that's from.
It means master. It's on Kung Fu Panda.
So
I just like it because Sifu means master, so it's master. It's kind of fun.
Okay, so Chris and JP, reintroduce yourself for Daniel.
All right, you could go first, Chris.
All right, so my name's Chris. I am the co-host of Marvel Alliance, which you can find live every Thursday night on the Geekverse Podcast YouTube channel. We go live every Thursday night at 9:10 Eastern Standard Time. If you just audio only, just look up Marvel Alliance. At that point, we cover everything in the world of Marvel, from streaming, movies, and comics. And but yeah, I got my whole story with OPB is JP always calls me his number one. At that point,
we had a lot of Facebook chats back then before.
When
he was hesitant on purchasing.
We did, because it was a new person on the game, but as JP's true to his word, at that point he answers and recalls. But yeah, I've been with him since as close to day one as possible, and but yeah, that's the channel and everything like that I do. So
can we say that he still doesn't put the OPB buyer's guide in his fuel when he's introducing himself to people?
I'm still working on it at that point. And yes, to appease Jake at that point, still it's relatively new. Yes, I am with Jake and Jordan every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What is that in Pacific? 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, doing the OPB buyer's guide, where we go over every single thing that OPB is selling the week of, and have some fun times. There you go. Happy Jake.
There we go.
I do it on Marvel Alliance. I do it at the end of the shows, so I have gotten that down.
Yeah, I'm just JP. I sell books, and I'm just here to answer questions and sell books. That's all I do.
Sometimes you ship them.
Yes. Sometimes I ship them, and sometimes I only work once a day. I mean, once a week, according to people online.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. He'll be like, yeah, it's 20 degrees. I'm not going to go in tomorrow. And then he's like, hey, I'm in. What orders need to be processed? And I was like, you were supposed to be warm.
Yeah, I was like, I want to look at some G.I. Joe stuff today. I'll just go in. It's only 28 degrees. It's fine.
Or to throw a big Tashin around to see what damage it causes a wall.
Yeah.
Just don't throw my Tashins.
Our water for the warehouse did not turn on until 1 p.m. So people had to go down to the street to the gas station and just use the restroom.
Oh,
like, my goodness.
What?
Yikes.
So this question was there an origin to you putting those these books are without ads in your packages back in the day?
No, actually, it's funny because I bought it. When I first started buying comics, I bought some through eBay, and this guy, I think his name is D.H. Header.
Oh, D.H. Header.
Oh yeah.
Header.
Yeah, see, good memory. I'm still a dad too. So I bought from him, and he put that in his thing. So I was like, oh, this is great. I'm gonna start using that, because when I first started selling books through Media Mail, I would get maybe like 1 or 2 sent back per week. It adds up. saying that it didn't qualify for media mail. I was like, you guys are stupid. So I was like, let me go print out his thing, and then I literally bought another book from him just so I could get that note again, and then I got the note. I just took it word for word, and then I just put it in all my stuff. So USPS, when they open the book to inspect for media mail, they'll just see that it qualifies. So I was like, oh, this is great. We have less items getting sent back to us. And then now that USPS is doing ground advantage, we don't have to have that problem as much as we used to. So we kind of stopped doing it.
What's the do you know off the top of your head like the cost between like UPS versus USPS media mail, like if they're, because I know that they're getting pretty close now with media mail.
Yeah, they are getting pretty close, but it's still a different way. So let's say £6 for UPS, I would say is about $14, and £6 for USPS media mail is about $7.
Okay.
So it's $5-7 different, but that adds up when you're doing high volume.
Yeah. Well, I heard there was like a kind of a tipping point between the two. But
yeah, I mean, if you go higher in weight, let's say if you go up to 20 pounds, 20 pounds is a good threshold. USPS is actually still cheaper than UPS because you could do ground advantage. Ground advantage, if you could fit it all in a box, the dimension wise, then it's cheaper. But 20 pounds, I would say, if you do media mail and ground, they're about the same. So the heavier something is, UPS will usually be more beneficial. But
that's been crazy to learn the past few days as I'm making labels, is like how like the G.I. Joe shipments for labels were expensive.
Heavy books.
But Chris, you gotta sign off, buddy. Anything you want to leave the audience with?
Yep. Again, as always a pleasure. Good to now see you virtually in this shape, JP. Hopefully, we will not go a year without just seeing each other in person outside the chat. But good seeing everyone at that point, and good stream, gentlemen. And you can check me out on all socials at Chris Balga. Again, my show is Marvel Alliance. Check it out on the Geekverse Podcast YouTube channel on Thursday nights, 9-10 Eastern Standard Time, and you look it up on audio only, looking up simply Marvel Alliance. But good show, everyone. See y'all later.
Right. And still didn't mention Buyer's Guide on Saturday.
I just did.
Alex wondering, is JP ever going to be on Buyer's Guide?
Eventually.
He's always like, I got pickleball that day. I got a hot air balloon that day. He's always doing something exotic on Saturdays.
From Monday to Friday, work hard. Saturdays sometimes work hard. Sundays, I only played it. Like all November all the way to January 1st, I literally worked Monday through Saturday and had one day off. So I was like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to relax. Leave me alone. But I will start doing probably in 3 or 4 weeks, because I have a lot of events coming up, especially with Chinese New Year and stuff like that.
To highlight this question, will the Marvel Ultimate trade paperbacks be coming to OPB? From what I was trained, we try to do things just for profitability and the economics of our scale, 30 and higher. And I think those retail for 20. So is that something we would add, or is that not profitable for us?
I would actually think about starting adding those, but people should just bundle it together with other things. But yeah, we can add them up. Jake's doing solicitations now, so he could add anything. So whatever you guys want, as long as it's not $5, because shipping would just kill us. But if you want those titles, then send us an email about what editions that you would like to see on OPB, and Jake will have it up on the website for y'all.
Yes, I would love more to add. No, I'm saying I think some cheaper stuff, even if it's a lost eater, because it's like the compact comics from DC sold so well that it might get new people in, But
that's what we want to do too. It's just it was very time consuming adding all those books and only seeing one purchase. But now that Jake can do it, it's fine.
And that one purchase was probably Mitch, because it was the most obscure book in the world.
Hey. I had you add one obscure, not super obscure book today for the first time in like months.
Wait, I was supposed to add that?
Yes. I sent you the ISBN.
Okay, yeah, but JP said add it later because it's limited edition.
Add it.
I'll add it. This is good. If it's a DM for Marvel these days, I'd honestly say pre-order.
That's pretty accurate, because actually we have to. I just got an email a few days ago about the I think ASM 6 from Penguin saying they can't fulfill our orders for the DM cover. So we're gonna have to send out emails later today. Jake will do that, saying either if you want standard covers or refund, because they told us that they oversold and were unable to fulfill our order. So there's that.
So can we
happen?
That does bring up a good point of like allocations. And I don't know if everyone understands like what that means. Because like, hey, I pre-ordered the DM variant. Why am I not getting my book?
Yeah.
Or even like sometimes it happens. It's just like a book that's hot and you get allocated.
Yeah.
Like just because you pre-ordered it doesn't always mean it's going to happen.
Yeah, it just depends. It depends on the publishers and distribution at that point.
Yeah, because you get like I was just wondering, like, because allocations like, hey, I ordered 400 copies of this book, but they're only gonna send me like 300, or so then that means the last 100 people that pre-ordered,
we had to cancel.
And it's not because you oversold. You ordered what you asked for, and it's still you're getting kind of hosed by the distributor.
That's always the same when that happens.
One's a monopoly, but we don't have to go down that path.
Yeah, it's crazy that Amalgam is still available, but there wasn't enough for retailers. I don't understand.
Yeah.
So what was that?
Oh yeah. So we can talk, if you want to talk a little bit about the like Amalgam situation where we did have to cancel orders, but we did it as quickly as we could so people could get it at other places,
Yeah.
So that was an unfortunate situation, but we just wanted to make sure people got their books.
Yeah. So we did have when Amalgam came out, what was there a limit to amount of books you guys got? Yeah. So DC versus Marvel, I think the DM version of the very first one, DC versus Marvel, not Amalgam, we were shorted, I think 100, 200 copies. And then Amalgam itself, we were shorted the DM cover. Oh, both covers.
Yeah, the standard, a couple issues.
Yeah, the standard and DM, we were just short on those. So it's just the distribution and publishers. There's really nothing we can do about that besides try to refund you before it releases, so you could obtain it elsewhere without that way you're not missing out on those titles.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I learned, if you want to speak to this at all, is we communicate as best we can, but a lot of these places don't communicate with you. It's like you order a book that's like low on stock, and then 4 weeks later they go, oh, it's out of stock, and someone's been waiting 4 weeks. So we pass on all the communication we get, but I think the communication you get with the publisher is sometimes pretty abysmal,
Yeah, especially when it comes to Diamond. Like just now, when I ordered something like the third or fourth week of December, and I just now reached out to them about the X-Force DM covers that they're supposed to send me, and some Savage Sword of Conan's and other stuff, and your Zelda that you told me about too. Remember that was on the invoice as well, and they're like, yeah, all those came damaged through UPS, so we had to credit you on those and refund. And I was like, well, you could have told me that like 3 weeks ago, man.
Yeah, because then you have to cancel your customers' orders, and then they're like, dude, you held on to my money for like a month and a half, and now you're just telling me. It's like, well, that's I finally had to
as a retailer, as a comic book retailer, I will say there's a lot of things, like there's a lot of stuff against, like I would say this is one of the worst businesses that you can go into. Honestly, you're spending $63 to make $10. You're running off less than 10% margins. You're dealing with customers that will want to refund, send stuff back because a corner comes damaged. It's just a very low margin industry. It's something you have to have a lot of capital, a lot of patience, and very good customer service to even maintain and do well in this industry, or you have to be at LCS and sell stuff at full price. Or you could just be a monopoly distribution and just, be a distributor and retailer at the same time, and, control the prices. But other than that, it's being an online retailer and trying to, that's why you don't really see too many people try to be an online comic book retailer, because it's just not there. You have Amazon competing against you. You have Target, Barnes and Nobles. You have all these other companies, and on top of a monopoly retailer at the same time. So, and the return claims for like 1 inch damages and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's
I
pretty
guess-
rough margins.
Yeah.
Making $10 for spending 63, that's horrible.
If you could let the people know here one thing that you wish they knew about anything related to your business, what would you wish, like if you have your platform right now to say anything about your business you wish people knew, like before going into it, what would you say?
Honestly, if I were to do it all over again, I still would, because it's fun. For me, I like the challenge, but I would say if you are trying to go into this business, you have to have a very high stress tolerance, and you have to, a very high stress tolerance. So like, be okay with being stressed out all the time, because this industry will stress you the hell out. And then be okay with the customer base that you are marketing and selling to, because there are times where you will have difficult conversations, especially when you see that they're trying to show you a damage that they see, but they have to highlight it and circle it just so you can see that small, minute detail that's bothering them that they want to replace them for. So high stress tolerance, a lot of patience. You have to have a very good amount of capital to start this business, because you definitely will not make any money your first year or so, especially with the margins. Like, because I had to spend $63,000 to make $6,000. $6,000 go to employee overhead and payroll. So there's basically barely any money out of it. So people who think I make a lot of money and stuff like that and just delegate out and do all this stuff, no, you guys are clowns.
Yeah, I mean, you're an entrepreneur though. Like you have a lot of other irons in the fire too that you're doing. That
Yeah.
I mean, you've told me like, oh, I started this new thing. I don't know
Yeah.
how long ago it was, but you're like, it's way more profitable than OPB. And I'm like, yeah, not as fun.
Yeah,
but
for example, I started a maid service business, and it's very simple. You just have people go out and clean the houses. You charge a certain quote. You have no overhead. The only overhead you have is your employee costs, but that's how much you make that money off of people. What people pay you for the service, and just the supplies, and that's it. For e-commerce, you have to spend a abysmal amount of money, and you don't know if it will all sell. So you're just sitting on inventory for months on end, hoping that it will sell. And as soon as it sells, you have to turn that profit again to buy more inventory and hope it sells. It's fine in other industries where your profit margin is about 30, 50%. But when your profit margin is about 10%, it's a very difficult thing. And I see now that's why a lot of LCSs and online comic book retailers go out of business, because it's just not profitable.
And that's them selling at cover price usually if it's an LCS,
Yeah.
And
so I don't like my LCS. They're one of the biggest in the country, and I mean they're huge, but their main moneymaker is gaming. Like half the store, which is huge, half the store is comics, but the other half is all gaming and
trading cards and stuff like that.
A lot of cards, and so you have your Magic, your all those, and like D&D, and then the whole top floor is all actual like board game tables, so people can play, and it gets people into the store. And then they have a cafe up there too, and it's like they have to do all these things just to like just make it. Like they're not rolling in money. They're still like like they're still of the people, but they're having to do all these things just to stay afloat.
Yeah, I pay attention to my LCSs in my area, and I see like one or two close every single year. There's a lot of closing every single year. It's crazy.
We got our friend Kevin asking, tell us about your employees. This is your time. Tell the world about me.
All right, so I have Jake. He just came on as, hey, like he was like, yo, let me help you whatever you need help with. And I was like, okay, great. This was during Black Friday, Christmas time. So I was like, yo, here's what I need to get done. Can you help me with this? Sure. Here's what I need to get done. Can I help me with this? So he's my yes man. That's great. He tries to learn and does all the roles that I give him. He never says no. So I really appreciate that. I always ask
I'm allowed to say no?
I always asked him too. I was like, hey man, let me know if this is too much. He's like, no, I got this. And then, so he's been a very big help, especially when becoming a a new parent and trying to just figure out how to take care of my child. So that took a lot of stress out of my plate after like doing operations all day from 8 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And coming home and having new customer service, I was able to actually come home and just spend time with my daughter and just watch her grow up. So that was a big help. And then we have Jessica and Carlos, which are David's siblings. They help pack Tuesdays through Friday, but they're starting their own venture, which is their tax filing preparation. So we'll see how that goes, or how well that goes, and if they will still continue being with OPB. But I also have some friends that I met through pickleball that I train, like college kids that I train to become packers and stuff like that. I have one guy named Matthew, and then my cousin Kaylin and her boyfriend David. So it's literally I have five packers, but I can only have basically 2 a day, because some of them are in college, and then David's siblings, they have other projects that they want to work on, so they're trying to build their company, which I understand. That's fine. It's like as long as I have 2 people per day to help out with operations, then we're golden.
So no full time staff.
Yeah, there's nobody there. Yeah, there's nobody full time. They were full time last year, but now everybody wants to do their ventures and stuff like that. So now it's just everybody's part time. I feel like everybody has at least maybe 20 hours or less per week, because they're all doing their own thing.
Okay.
And then this is a good question. What is the damage threshold on your end for when something's sold as damaged?
When something is sold as damaged, so like when we sell it, like, hey, from the wear and tear section, I'm assuming.
So I guess maybe a better way to say it is like, at what point would you not sell a book because you would to a regular customer because you think it's damaged? And like, what does damage mean to you?
Yeah, when it's like
should we show the pictures of the water flood?
Yeah, when it's molded, or when the pages are ripped, when you can't even read the book, is when I say that's the damage threshold. But usually the damages that we get is just pertaining to cosmetics, which is the corners of the book and the spines crushing and stuff like that. But it doesn't affect the pages. I feel like I won't sell you a book that you can't read. So that's
like if a page is gonna fall out or the spine's coming apart or something like that, that's beyond what you're gonna sell. But if it's a cosmetic, rip in the dust jacket, ding in the corner, or ding across the spine, or like a cut on the jacket or something like that, that's all. Okay.
Yeah. And then in the history of OP, what do you think is the book you've sold the most of, where you still get a lot of requests about?
I would say Road to No Man's Land 1, 2, 3.
Really?
Yeah, No Man's Land, and Green Lanterns, and JSA.
Yeah, but you have so many Green Lanterns stocked up. And then I feel like Invincible, when that show comes around, and Sandman when that show came around, but probably be selling a little bit less of those now.
Oh yeah, with Sandman, yeah, I don't think we'll be selling much Sandman in the future. But yeah, Invincible doing well, but that's not an omnibus. I would feel like if it's not like a sale or anything, something that just sold really well. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know DC versus that's not an omnibus. DC versus Marvel sold really well, but that's just something that just came out. I think besides that, Uncanny X-Force did really well when it released, because people were like really wanting that for a while.
That's awesome. And then did Zdarsky Daredevil Volume 2 go out of print, the regular cover?
Yes, it sure did. It went out of print.
That was so fast.
Both covers actually went out of print now.
It's like the COVID times where everything was just going out of print like same day.
What's crazy was I had so many copies of Daredevil Volume 1, Chip Zdarsky, that I held on for months because I overbought. But then Volume 2, I kind of like was not as aggressive, and now it's out of print. So that's another thing about comic book industry being a retailer is like you win some, you lose some.
And then this is a good question. This pertains kind of to DC strategy versus Marvel strategy. How does DC always have something in stock like Green Lantern? That's usually because they classify the book as what's called evergreen,
Yeah.
but Marvel books sometimes last under a year. So Marvel doesn't have anything that they consider evergreen, which is always in print. Or like Watchmen, you'll never have to worry about Watchmen being out of print.
Yeah, I think DC, they have a lot of evergreen titles. As soon as they know it's low in stock and distribution, they will print more. DC, Marvel, since they have so many titles, I think that's why Omar does a poll on what reprints and stuff like that you would like to see. Just because they have so many titles. DC, they didn't have. I feel like what's the ratio do you think from DC to Marvel? Like 1-5, 1-6? I don't remember, but
I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like that. Yeah, sounds about right.
I feel like just the ratio of Marvel Omnibus to DC is the reason why DC keeps their stuff evergreen and Marvel doesn't, because they just have so many titles to keep printing.
But there's an inverse to that, because I feel like if a book's not evergreen, I feel like Marvel is better about reprinting stuff. Like there's been some out of print DC books, like the night, I think the third Nightfall, that's been out of print forever.
Yeah. Well, and that's my thing too. Is like DC has a lot of evergreen titles. Marvel doesn't really do that, but they reprint more often. But even still, like I've been in the collected edition game for, I don't know, probably over 10 years now. Yeah. And just in that time, I've seen nearly, like, I say this usually, unless it's like a limited signed numbered edition kind of thing. And even then, a lot of times they get reprinted, but most everything gets reprinted at some point. You might have to wait 5 to 10 years, but there's probably going to be a reprint on it more than likely, or a new format is going to come out. I mean, you look at the post that was shared in the Omnibuds Cafe earlier today. I think it was today with
it was yesterday. I think about,
was it yesterday about the
Avengers,
JLA Avengers, like don't like their social media managers like, oh, don't spend all this money, like reprint's going to be coming soon. This is the rumor I heard, and then he like confirmed more things about the rumor that might happen.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, so like even a book like that everyone's like, get it now because this is never getting printed again. All of a sudden, oh, it's getting printed again, and it's only been like a year or two. Not even that long.
Are you talking about the Heroes and the one that made a trade paperback one of?
Well, yeah, this post specifically alluded. Well, this one specifically alluded, at least in the post that he shared, that it was the Absolute being reprinted.
Oh, okay.
Which we would love to see. So I don't know. I feel like we have a higher chance of that book being reprinted in a different format. I would be shocked if DC allowed them to reprint it in their pseudo Absolute format. You know?
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that one.
Even still, like even still, like it's probably it'll probably get reprinted. Don't know what format, but I mean, everyone wants the Absolute, but everyone went nuts just for this trade paperback. And now, so even if they reprint the trade paperback, everyone's going to go nuts for that. Yeah. Let alone if it's a hardcover or an Absolute. So everything gets reprinted. Like you might have to wait years, but we all usually have a pretty big. We all have a pretty big backlog we can read while we wait.
Yeah.
I can't like even begin to fathom what I spent on out of print books when I first got into the hobby, but oh my God.
Bro, when we did Whatnot, when we first started with all the out of print books, people were going crazy. $400 or $500 for Batman Eternal. Man, that was nuts. But now
when that book was coming out, people weren't excited about it. They didn't even like Batman Eternal.
It was crazy.
So funny.
The same thing with Batman Robin.
My story about that one is it was always the out of print whale for me for Batman because it was out of print, while I was collecting, and I always wanted to spend a lot of money on it. And finally, it got reprinted. I bought it from you, and I got it. And then a year went by, and I never took it out of the shrink wrap. And I was like, "That's why you should never, spend $300-400." I will say I will get to your email tomorrow because it is getting kind of late. But I just sent a quick email to my OPB account. My pre-order unit may not be available. If that's the case, we'll get notified via email as soon as you know. I'm learning the biz.
Yeah, if you ordered a DM copy, we are going to go start sending emails out tomorrow saying either switch to standard or get a refund because we're not able to fulfill the DM covers unless we get some from Diamond. But I'd rather do refunds right now because you just don't know. Diamond said they have 22 copies in stock, but when
If
I
you
bought
get
it,
them,
when I bought them, they just never arrived. So I'd rather just do refunds or switch to covers that I know will be available than leave you guys ghosted for like four weeks and find out you can't get any anymore.
Yeah. Then
we have people wanting Daredevil by Soul to be reprinted. That was as before I ever, worked for you. That was the situation where you got my business for life as a customer, where you saved me for that restock, dude. You were like, "Do you need a copy?" And I was like, "No, I got one pre-ordered." And you were like, "Okay." And the next day I was like, "I need it. Yeah, you bought my loyalty that day. And yes, someone mentioned Omnibuds Cafe. It's like Beetlejuice over there.
I'll go back to Anubu Anbu Night.
At what time? Because there's a couple of Nubu things.
9:54. We'll start with that one. Daredevil's Zadarthi.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an Omar question. I mean, if you send me an email, I'll follow up with you on that. I'll just ask Omar. I'll just send him a message real quick.
it will get new stock. It will.
Yeah.
It might be in 5 years, but there will be new stock.
Actually, I think it will come a bit sooner. I'm pretty sure, but I'll ask Omar.
Especially, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm shocked the Soul Omnibus didn't get reprinted, but there's things in that trailer that feel like the Soul Omnibus, and there's a lot of things in that trailer that feel like the Zdarsky Omnibus. So, but I feel like also for some of those Marvel books, like they were doing restocks like 6 months down the line. You know what I mean?
Well, it's easier too from like a publishing perspective to just keep that ball rolling rather than like letting it all just kind of run out and shut down. And then 5 years later, having to go back and dig out the files and make sure everything's good and having to go through and update everything rather than just like tell the printer to print another, 2,000 copies and then you just go for it. It's a lot easier to do that than it is to let things just run out and sit for a while. So
how are you guys doing on time?
I'm
sorry,
okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going. How are you guys doing on time? I know JP said he kind of wanted to keep it. Are you feeling jazzed? Are you having fun?
It's up to Mitch. I haven't talked to Mitch in so long.
I'm okay right now. I'm okay.
We'll see. Every 10 minutes we'll follow up on it.
Kids are yelling. If you hear the kids yelling, then I might have to.
He's like, I'll stay on until Jake adds that book I want him to add.
I'm telling you, every time we do the call, I'm telling you, it's gonna go for at least 3 hours. That's how it goes.
We got some nice comments that I didn't even go over because I was kind of going through all the questions, but Mike saying you saved me on Absolute Swamp Thing, got all 3. There's 4 Absolute Swamp Things. Yeah, everyone forgets about you gotta get the Lin Wein.
Yeah, the Lean Wein, bro.
Well, maybe he only needed 3 of the 4.
No, I gotta buy the 4th one. Come on, man.
I can't believe we've never gotten an omnibus for that one. So you guys chat for a bit. I'll go through and highlight some of the positive comments that we didn't go over.
All right.
I'm gonna answer some questions that were missed. So Daredevil Bendis Volume 2 actually still in stock. So if you haven't purchased one yet, I would say you should before it goes out of stock, because it seems like they're low stock right now. Not trying to push any FOMO or anything, but right now it's just showing low stock from Diamond. I don't know how it is on Penguin until 1 more hour. I can't see the stock count for anything on Penguin until the midnight, basically Eastern time of the release date. So that's the only bad thing when it comes to I'm not sure if I'm gonna get stock or not. I have to wait until it actually releases midnight to check the stock count on.
Oh, jeez. Yikes.
And then Rick Remender, I don't know how I feel about a hardcover Compendium of Deadly Class, because I feel like that's gonna be a very thick book.
The 4. What are those? Are those library editions? What do you?
I call those Image Deluxe editions because it's the same size as Ghost Machine.
Yeah, but Image has deluxe edition.
Yeah.
Like they're regular.
Okay, Image Deluxer editions. I don't, because they're bigger than a regular deluxe edition. So I don't know if it has a name.
I kind of put them in the library edition or absolute size ish.
Yeah, I thought
they're smaller than library though.
I saw the trade
No,
paperback
no.
version of the compendium. It was
They're
pretty
right
thick.
next to my.
It
They're
was
right next to my
thick.
Dark Horse library.
They're the same as a
and
library?
They're like that much shorter than the Dark Horse library.
I thought
editions.
library was like the Mad Men books. Isn't that taller?
I think they're the same size.
Okay. We got a friend saying, much respect, JP. Good on you for coming online to live answer questions instead of hanging out on his yacht, you know?
I know, right? Sipping pina coladas. Paul, how much is in each of your shame pile backlog? What percentage of your collection is still unread? Basically 99.9 for me. I don't know about Mitch or Jake.
So okay, I'm actually gonna make a video about this soon, hopefully. So this is I've been thinking about this. I'm like, my backlog is not going away. And I've been reading a ton more the past couple of years, like a lot
Because you
more.
sell every book you read, right?
And yeah, so I don't keep I sell books off as fast as I read them. So my backlog will never probably for a very long time probably not get over I think I have about 60 to 70% at any given time of what I've read in my library, but I don't think I'm ever going to get past 30 to 40% of a 30 to 40% of my backlog being in my library, because every time if the book isn't something I really want to keep, it's not going to stay in my library, and a new book that I more than likely haven't read comes in, so then that instantly changes the ratio again to from a read to an unread.
I don't think it's a bad thing though, because the way I look at it is people look at stacks of shame as or backlog as a negative thing, but I wouldn't want a library full of every book I've already read, you know? So I love that I always have a gluttony of choices of what to read. And I just read at the pace that I can, and I have the rest of my life to read every book that I keep, you know? So
yeah,
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, and you end up with you know what? I was really interested in this, and now I'm not, and I'm gonna get rid of it. And
I wish I did that
totally
part.
fine.
See, that's the part I need to learn from you.
Or so I have Berserk volumes 1 through 9.
So 6. Okay.
And so I know it goes up to what is it, 13 now? 14 is coming out.
Yeah,
14 will be the end.
Yeah, something like that.
So I have 1 through 9, and I've read half of it, and I liked it, but it's really, really violent and pretty dark at points. And I'm like, it's just not one that I'm wanting to continue reading. It's good.
How far did you get? Because I even hearing Jordan explain to me the first one, I was like, that is not for me.
I think I read through 5.
Oh my,
what I got.
That's more commitment than I have, dude.
So I read nearly, I guess that's a third of the series. I'm like, it's just not worth committing that much space in my library, that much time to reading, and that much money when I can free up that space, time, and money for books that do mean something to me. So
this is a suggestion. It says, one thing I like tweaked or reworked is how to access the rewards on the website. I feel like it's a little finicky to access the points through that little side tab when a lot of stuff is on the screen. Yeah, is that something that we can change with the theme, or are we stuck with what we got?
Are you talking about just accessing it with the little pop-up, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I will say when I'm logged into the website, I get so I'm really happy to see all, especially mobile wise, all the pop-ups go away. I think there's the log.
My claim to fame.
I know. We were all talking about that, and then I remember you saying I wonder if JP will let me kill it. And then it happened. So, but when you're logged in, you get the login pop up, not really on the desktop, but you get the rewards, you get the wish list, you get what is it on the left? It's reviews, wish list, and then on the right you get rewards, and then there's the little
chat,
the little chat thing. So you have these 4 things there, and it does get a little overwhelming, all the different things going on. And it'd be nice to have it here's my wish list and my
in a separate tab or something, not on a pop-up.
Well, like, yeah, you like go to your account
Yeah,
and your
yeah.
account has your wish
Mhm.
list and your rewards all like right
Yeah,
there.
we
That'd
can
be
look
kind of
into a
nice.
different one. It's just that we're gonna have to migrate everything over, which might be a little bit difficult, especially figuring out how to migrate points,
Yeah.
migrate wish lists. We are
Um,
grandfathered into this one at a pretty good price, so I'll see.
Yeah.
I'll look into it some more.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, now I feel like with the holiday season over, with me taking on more responsibilities for you, that like now we can start thinking longer term about things that aren't as necessary, but will be
Yeah.
nice quality of
Yeah,
life fixes.
yeah. Instead of
Yeah.
just trying to survive the storm and the pitchforks and fires and everything.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. There are 3 Alan Moore Swamp Things, but you got to put that respect on that OG Swamp Thing absolute. I remember I never knew about it, and I did a live stream with someone, and I'm looking at their bookshelf, and I'm like, why does he have 4 Swamp Thing absolutes? I was so shook. So that was interesting to me. What's the origin to your nickname, Tio Julio?
So when David's daughters were younger, they always call me Uncle JP. And so I would say, call me Tio Julio. so every single time they see me, they're like, hey, Tio Julio. They come give me a hug now. But now they're freaking teenagers and like, you're lame, you're washed up. Like, teenagers.
This is a fun little question. I hate that your Shopify name isn't JP, because every time I try to tag you on an order on Shopify, I type JP and there's no employee with JP, so I have to delete it and type JE, and it's like I have to unlearn my neurons, man. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. JP stands for Jean Pierre. Simple name, right? Simple name.
Jean Pierre.
Yeah, Mitch didn't even know that for this whole time.
No, I did.
Yeah, yes.
I did. It was like a year before I knew it, but I have known it. So
yeah, but JP is a lot easier. What's crazy is nowadays when I write my name out for signatures and stuff like that, people say it properly. But when I was in school, they're like Jean Paris, Jean Pie, Jean Pirate and stuff like that. I was like, damn, my name is that hard. So I was like, just call me Pierre. But then when I went to high school, they called me JP. But like now when I write out my name, people just say it fine. I'm like, oh, I'm really surprised. This is strange.
Leave it to high schoolers to just come up with the laziest possible solution.
I know, right?
We got this nice comment from saying, just passing on thanks to you, JP. I'm a customer from Central America.
Very
and the customer
nice.
points are a major part for me to stay in OPB. Also, customer service is insane. I'm hoping insane in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, only when I reply to emails, right?
Yeah. I felt like what I would say if I had a chance to like explain anything from that portion was that when I started, you were so busy that I would be like, hey man, I have all these emails asking when their book is coming. And you'd be like, tell them 2 weeks. So I told everyone 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks went by and it was like, oh, it's delayed a week. And then everyone was like, their customer service guy's lying. I only passed along info that I was given. You know what I mean? Like, and we can't control a delay. That's out of our control, So
bro, you should have seen how the emails were when Sandman was here, bro. Oh my gosh. That was crazy.
Yeah, I'll say even doing like customer service, because we do a lot of Kickstarter stuff and backer kit stuff for Magnetic, and it's really, really hard to like set expectations. And like you'll even say like, hopefully in the next 2 months we'll be able to ship it, and then you'll even drop announcements between then, or maybe you just say we're trying in the next 2 months, and you don't say anything else because there's nothing else to say. And then people are like, it's been 2 months. Where is it? Like, well, we're still waiting. Everything's on a ship somewhere between China and California. Like, we can't call the boat and ask them where they're at. Like, I mean, some services you can track all that stuff, but like a lot of it's really hard. And you're just kind of at the whims of the publisher, the printer, the distributor, the people at the warehouse who have the information that are shipping it out, or UPS, whoever
Mhm.
has the pallet
Yeah,
somewhere.
I feel
We've
like
had
being
pallets.
I feel like being a retailer, there's way more stuff out of your control than there is in your control.
Yeah, it's dicey. It's really, really hard to give
Mhm.
people good information. So a lot of times you just default to I may as well not say anything because people are going to be like upset if I do
Yeah.
or upset if I
That-
don't. But if I
yeah,
do say
exactly.
something and then it's wrong again because
Uh-huh.
something else happened, then they're going to be even more mad. So
Yeah.
it's really, really hard. So
Mhm.
Yeah, you want to balance, under promising and over delivering with also being authentic. So,
Yeah.
we're learning. What's been helpful now is that JP sends me the screenshots of his responses from the publishers, because for a while I was just going like, I have no information. But when I send you a screenshot of like Diamond saying I have no information, that just feels like I'm not the one to blame anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he was like,
that's
"Why
true.
didn't you ask for it?" And I go, "I didn't know it was a thing."
Yep.
Should have known, bro.
Yeah, like the big one was like the GI Joe Kickstarters, which we made all the labels for today. Like, especially like you just said, coming from Kickstarter, we have even less information.
Yeah.
It's it's really hard, really hard. And then you run into like
You
we
know
always run
what's-
into like right now Chinese New Year. You're like,
Yeah.
printer's gonna shut down. Like,
Yeah.
we
You know what
can't-
sucks about that Kickstarter though? They put every single like what's it called? Stretch mark? Stretch achievement?
Stretch goal.
In one box. So now I had to go find it all, sort it all out, and make sure it goes correctly with each box set. So that's
Oh, they didn't. Oh, dang.
Yeah, like all the stretch goals are in one separate box away from all the like box sets. So I had to so I had to get every single stretch goal, like, make sure it's organized and like, all right, these 4 stretch goals go here, these go here. All right, there's all together. Here we go. So that's maybe a Wednesday type thing.
Yeah. I guess if you're doing the retailer tier, that might make sense that they're doing it that way. But yeah.
Yeah, because we did order like 50 of them. So, and we had to order all the stretch goals separately, which kind of sucks, but whatever.
Okay.
Okay. And then people were talking, it'd be nice to get a feature on the wish list that emails people when the book becomes in stock, which I know we talked today about the grandfathered in thing because of the wish list debacle,
Yeah, send me an email about that request. That way I'll stay on the top of my head and then we'll get that looked into.
This is a fun question, though. Do we have hobbies other than comics, or does that take up all your free time?
Yeah, so Jake, all he does is sous vide and play pickleball. I'm just, I love.
I want to play pickleball so bad.
If you ever come up here, Pickleball Washington, where I'm at, is the place where it was invented. So,
but you don't play, huh?
Nope. We played it in high school. It's one of like the high school things you did during PE. Yeah, it's pickleball.
I went from tennis to pickleball, so pickleball is just a breeze.
It's a lot easier going.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
I will say for me, my brain is the kind of brain that hyperfixates on a hobby to the point where it doesn't give me dopamine anymore and I get burnt out. So like I'll read comic books every day and make YouTube videos every day for like 3 months. And then one day I'm like, this isn't fun anymore. And I get into I try to cycle back to an old hobby, like riding my bike or cooking or playing video games or something, and just wait until I want to read comics again. Because if you try to force it, then you just stay burnt out longer, But
yeah.
I will say that I bet you can more than any of us, because even though Mitch works tangentially in comics and so do I, like working in your hobby kind of ruins it,
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I don't even read comics no more.
Yep.
And Day, I know Day wants to do a book club meeting with me, but I was like, man, I really want to read either Birthright or Radiant Black, but I just
Radiant Black was so good.
I just read Radiant Black. It was so good.
Bro,
it's pretty cool.
Every single time I process orders, I see on the shelf, I'm like, dang, I want to read it. Then,
it's a pretty quick read. Like it's not like a dense reading Silver Age Marvel or something like that. You can fly through it pretty quick.
It was pretty fast. I need to pick up that up. Ugh.
Yeah. Let's see.
New comments not showing. There we go. Sorry, my things.
I'll say with that hobby question, and this like I gotta hopefully now that the holidays are over get back into it. But doing bookbinding. So I do that on the side, just kind of having fun with that, which is very fun and helpful with the comic hobby too, is because then I know how to fix my books if something happens, and I get a lot of PMs about how to fix books, and I've made some videos on it too, which is fun. So I try and blend them all together because I also like photography and video, so like YouTube and Instagram and blending it all together. So
Yeah, it's nice to blend it all together, all one function.
yeah.
But it looks like people are enjoyed it. This stream was great, guys. Glad you put this together. Definitely feel like I understand the other side of the business more than I did an hour ago.
Well, that's good.
A newbie wondering, do you think floppies will die in the next 5 to 10 years?
Honestly, I have no idea. I feel like so many people go digital, but floppy, like we always thought comics were gonna die. I thought comics were dying out, but I don't think it will.
I don't think they're gonna die out. No, I mean, I think they're gonna.
I think the hardest thing though will be new publishers and new artists and stuff like that trying to get into the industry since Diamond's going out of business. I think that's going to be very hard to do, but like the big ones that already have a lot of establishment will be here for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think the floppies, they'll be here, especially from the big two.
Yeah.
And like Dark Horse and Image, like those will be around. They're not going to stop. They might cut back on all the like extra stuff, but you're still going to have your Batmans, your Hellboy,
I'm ready for Marvel Rivals issue #1 coming out soon. They sent me a big old marketing about that. I was like, oh yeah, I'll read that. I played that game a few times.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to die out. I think a lot of people are going to start experimenting with different things. I think there's going to be a lot more like trade paperbacks, and I think there's going to be a lot more digital stuff. So, yeah.
Very nice. I would say I'm going to open this up to 5 more minutes of questions. So if anybody has any more questions they want to ask, I see Mitch getting a little sleepy over there. So I'm going to say 5-10 minutes more questions. So we get as many questions as we can answered. And then, we'll go from there. Maybe I'll see you guys in a month.
Mitch, since you just finished Radiant Black, are you going to sell it or sticking in the collection?
So
it'll keep be.
It. You better keep it, man.
What?
Bro,
why?
It's one of those classics.
It is. It will stay in the collection for now.
Oh my gosh!
It's gonna
put an hourglass next to it, and once the sand runs out, you sell it.
I mean, really, yeah. Everyone gets a Sandman treatment where eventually the sand and time runs out and it gets put out to pasture.
I don't want the Sandman treatment right now.
That's true. It's probably a bad way of stating that.
People are asking where babies come from, and I'll say not from me.
Nope.
I always thought they came out of watermelons, you know.
What are you doing to watermelons?
No, I was like, oh, you get a baby from a watermelon because watermelon's so big. That was me when I was little.
And by little, he means like 5 months ago.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I got to do an overview of Radiant because that was a good one. It was really good.
Of what?
Radiant Black.
Right. Okay.
Mitch, since you're into bookbinding, can you bind my compendiums of Starman into something hardback?
I will say, I did a video on that. I took a trade paperback and I bound it into a hardcover. It's not hard. It's like a relatively easy thing to do. It's pretty cool. Like if you want to learn bookbinding, that's a good way of doing it. It's just like hair drying. Take a hair dryer, and
it's his bedtime.
Loosens the glue, and the cover comes right off. And then the hard part is building the actual like the hardcover bind of it, and then it just gets glued to end sheets, and those get glued onto the hardcover. It's really easy, and it's pretty fun, pretty cool experience to do something like that. But yeah,
I literally bought a hair dryer just because one of the books I bought off eBay.
Mustache?
One of the books I bought off eBay was stolen from a library, so it had all these stickers and like UPC codes on it. So I think it was you that said get a hair dryer and a credit card.
Hair dryer works for that stuff, or like even like the goof off. That stuff works really well on like the library glue, or even the other thing that works really well is WD-40. So that'll take the tags right off of like dust WD-40 jackets and everything. Yeah.
Okay. Very nice.
Put it on like a paper towel. So get most of the sticker off, and it's got all that sticky residue on there. WD-40 on some paper towel takes it right off, and I use like a baby wipe after that to get rid of the extra like residue. Works well.
So is there anything else you want to share with the chat, JP, before we call it a night?
I'm gonna run through all these questions real quick. So what does WN mean? Are you done with WN? I'm kind of old now, so I don't know what that means. Vagabond Definitive Edition. I sold 2 cases, so I don't know how well that went. How big is Radiant Black's universe? Because I only know the hardcover.
It has a trading card that apparently Chris wants me to play with him when I visit him later this year.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. I want to read something like the Valiant universe because it's so massive, but then I'm just like, man, I don't have time to read 48 books. I only did the first 3 though, but I know that they said the Valiant universe was really, really good. I'm surprised it doesn't really do well in sales and stuff like that, or like popularity wise. Because when I was reading it was actually a really fun read. It kind of felt like the Invincible universe a little bit. Custom binding, yeah, that was huge back in the pandemic, man. Custom bindings and statues.
Yeah, statues got big.
Statues were real big. Now they're dead. Even the statue manufacturers can't even like make any more statues anymore. A lot of them going out of business and stuff.
Jeez.
When I was trying to find a photo for the thumbnail, I went through your Facebook, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's posted a lot of photos of statues."
Yeah, dude, I have another statue coming in of Alan the Alien from Invincible eventually too. I was like, man, I forgot I ordered that.
That's
I'm
cool.
still gonna collect the Invincible line, but nothing else. I have what's the name? Atrocious or whatever.
Atrocious?
Yeah, that guy, Red Lantern, on the way. Still that I ordered like 2 years ago. So statue game is kind of weird.
Wow.
What's up, Keela? How you been? Whatnot? Whatnot. Okay, that's when you know I haven't done Whatnot for a while. I'm not done with Whatnot. It's just,
hey, I offered to fly out to Texas for that one weekend where you were gonna get a discount. I want a work trip, man. I want some Texas barbecue,
bro. That was just not profitable. We will do Whatnot probably.
But
like
it could be fun. Who needs profit, right? Oh wait, guess it's a business. I just want to do a Whatnot stream. It looks fun to dance and sell books. Never gonna dance on my YouTube channel.
I would say we would do a Whatnot sometime this year. Will it be soon? Probably not, but sometime this year.
You can dance for your channel. I did it one time for my birthday stream.
Oh yeah,
when I won an OPB gift card.
Yeah,
and it was my birthday, so I did the "It's my birthday" song from Ragnarok. It was great. Probably shouldn't have done that. I regret this.
The Berserk editions, they do well, but it's only on order because they're always out of stock every now and then. And Death of Superman is not out of print yet. And I
don't think Death of Superman will ever be out of print. And that Absolute is coming though.
And then I'm still waiting for you to buy all my Iron Studio statues. They're still on top of my office. But other than that, let me know, chat. What do you guys think about this live stream? Should we be doing this more often, maybe once a month or something? Have Mitch come in, Day, all the OGs, BJ Kicks.
I mean, you do a weekly Saturday one that you guys could always join.
A real live stream.
One that doesn't talk about books too much. This is more of the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I'm more of a behind the scenes person. You guys are more of the these are the comics that are coming out, and I don't even know what's coming out. I'm just out here.
It's Chris reading the solicits in his deep voice.
Oh, that's sultry, delicious.
Yeah, but it seemed like this went very, very well. Jake was very scared today. He was so nervous. He couldn't even sleep last night. This guy was like sweating hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was having night sweats.
Well, I'm glad that we could get together and chat about OPB and what's been going on and all that kind of stuff, and kind of explain things and help get understanding and get suggestions on the website. I think that's great. I think there's some great stuff that came out of that. So if JP told you guys to email him, definitely do that so that he can remember those ideas and suggestions, because it's kind of everything's flying by while we're sitting here chatting. So if you're serious about something like that,
And then like after this, go back to my baby, then forget everything that just happened.
Exactly.
You have anything you want to say to the chat, Mitch, Jake?
Thanks for watching. Thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun. I'm glad that we got to get together and chat again and talk OPB. I miss doing these.
Should we hit this last one? So we tag everyone with classic packaging. I'm not sure if you missed it, but peanuts are going away. But how come some people still got peanuts when they were tagged with classic packaging?
Honestly, I think that's just on me. When I'm processing orders, I see OG packaging and I'll write it, but sometimes I might have forget it, or the sticky note comes off because I have this big old thing of sticky notes. I just write OG and put it on your shipping label, so it could fall off. But if you are purchasing new books and not back orders or restocks, all orders going forward will have either bubbles and paper or inserts. So we will be transitioning out of peanuts for new orders, and we would just be using peanuts for back orders and restocks until we run out, and then we'll start going back to inserts, bubbles, and paper.
Cool. Hopefully that helps answer your question. But this was awesome. This was a lot of fun. I love hanging out with my friends and getting to clear the air and, just move forward. And it's the busy season is over. So now we can improve all of our practices, because we have the time to do that. So thanks everyone for giving me feedback. I want to continue to do better. So, I'm just,
you better.
Honestly, I believe in your company and I just want to help out because I love this hobby. Like it's been there for me through everything. So I'm just happy to be a part of it. So.
Yeah, and then to the last question, why no more peanuts? It's just we've been getting a lot of complaints. I guess it's just messy, and people don't like it too much. But if you're happy with peanuts, just buy some old books, and I'll send you some peanuts.
So if I buy old books with new books, will I get peanuts?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. No, you won't.
throw on one of those old $5 books or something like that, and then ensure I get my pack of peanuts.
This guy got an old book. I guess got to throw peanuts in everything now.
I just want you to, from here on out, with whatever packing peanuts you have, just put one packing peanut on top of every package.
That's memories of what happened.
Just
December. It doesn't even have to be a packing peanut. You could throw like an actual peanut in someone's order. Just
I hope if you bring back the bookmarks ever that you put like a Mr. Peanut on it.
Hey, make me a design. I will definitely make a bookmark with Mr.
Oh, maybe
Peanut.
it'll just be like a picture of packing peanuts.
Actually,
and that'll be the bookmark.
It'll be that one of him in the suit next to David, but instead of him next to David, he's next to Mr. Peanut.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah, that's funny, man. You should make me a peanut comic series.
All right.
Cool. Well, everyone have a great night. And if we didn't get to your question, or if you're watching this after the fact, feel free to post a comment of your question and we'll do our best to get back to them, but also email us and we'll do our best to be, we want to communicate with the community.
And one more thing, I will be doing another live Q&A for the On the Bud Cafe. If you guys are in his group, feel free to join his group. The Q&A will be Sunday, I think 11 a.m. Central Time. And then if Omar wants to do a interview, that's fine. Cool. Works for me. I know we've both been busy, but yeah, I'll reach out. If you want to see me on the interview with Omar, let me know. Send me an email. I got you.
Cool. Well, everyone have a great night.
Take
care.
See y'all later.